Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can get us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com. Today I want to show you a telephone. This is a Goofy telephone. It's an animated telephone. So Goofy is supposed to talk and he's supposed to move. Every time you pick up the handset, he's got his head bowed when the handset's down and it's plugged in and the batteries are in. And then when you lift up the handset, his head's supposed to come up. Plus, when you hit this demo button, he's supposed to do a demonstration for you. And when the telephone rings is when he goes through the animated process and starts talking and moving around. So basically what happened with this telephone is the customer sent it in and the telephone was not working on the animation. And this is a very hard telephone to work on. So basically I can't show you everything that we repaired, but I am going to show you what we replaced. And I also have to do some soldering on the board that I didn't like after we finished this process here. This is a capacitor, and that was bad. And also we had a transistor here that is bad. So we had a couple of parts that weren't working. I'll pick that up and show it to you. And so once they were replaced, we need to resolder some of the circuit board. And I'm going to lay the video down here real quick and see if we can't show you what it looks like inside. This is a very difficult telephone to work on. Here is because they don't give you much wire inside, and so you can see the speaker, you can see some of the switches here. I'm going to have to try to swing him around. Okay, here's the switch area. This is for the switches that I believe it's high and low volume and pulse and tone. I can check that real quick. Ringer volume and pulse and tone. Okay, that's what it was. This telephone also was put out by Telemania. The company that put this telephone out is called Telemania. So anyway, here's your piezo buzzer for your ring cycle when it's just in normal ring function mode. Then here's a speaker for the animation sound, your tone and pulse switch. Here's your main PC board for the telephone. This ribbon cable goes up to the dial here. So that ribbon cable feeds the dial. I want to do some resoldering. Here's the switch for the demo. You would push that for the demo. I've got a couple of things that I want to solder here on this board, and so that's what I'm going to be doing here right now. So I'm going to set this down, and I'm going to try to include that in the video here of me doing some final soldering on this telephone. So I kind of want to position this so that you can see it, and that's basically what we're trying to get to here, so you can see what's going on. And I'm going to touch the solder up. It's our last thing that we have to do, and then hopefully I can get it back together again and in time to show you. Got some solder right in here that I didn't like. And I always like to do this preventive maintenance kind of thing on the telephones when they are in for repair. If I see solder that I don't like, what I do is I resolder it back up to keep the telephone working for a long time. The last thing I want to do is repair the telephone and send it back to the customer with a bunch of bad solder, and then the customer have problems with it down the road. So we try to, get some of that taken care of while we're in the telephone. And if I'm in here anyway working on other things, there's no reason for me not to go over the solder and touch it up. And a lot of times the problems with telephones and electronics is just the simple fact that the solder is no good. And you have to resolder things to get them to work properly. I think that's, well, we'll do one more here that I don't like. Okay, well, I think that's going to get it. And just a few things that I wanted to solder there. So anyway, let's get this bottom back on. We want to get this over there where it belongs, get these wires where they belong. Let's start putting screws in him. Sometimes you have a little difficulty putting these things back together again. They don't want to go back together exactly like they came off. There we go. So, you know, you just got to keep trying to hold it while you put the screws in, because you never know. There's a lot of insides here, and they all have to match up. And once we get everything matched up, we just start putting the screws in. Also, we want to put some batteries in him so that we can check the functions out. We're just going to do a check out here while we're we got the video going. Hopefully we'll have enough time to check him out. They don't give you too much time on YouTube. I'm going to check my time real quick. We sure have a little bit of time here. Let's plug him in. We're going to set Goofy down. And right now Goofy is bowing, in the bowing mode. So he's got his head down. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the demo button.
Huh? Did you hear something ringing? Huh? What do you know? A phone call. If it's for me, I'm a-sleeping. Ooh, hit the snooze button for me, would you? Guess you're not home.
And I'll show you a unique feature. See, his head comes up when you take the phone off the hook, and you can hear dial tone, and it has a switch here for high and low dial tone, which is pretty cool. So this telephone is back to working order now, and we're running out of time here, so I'm going to have to shut the video down. But this is a Goofy telephone by Mania, And thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair. And goodbye.